everybody, and welcome back to Mind Blowing Energy and You. This is Lynn Profit from Living Currents Energy and Life Coaching, and we're here to bring the woo-woo into everyday living. And today, actually, I'm so honored to have the guest that we have. It is Michelle Bateman. She is a transformational soul coach, a speaker, and writer, and she is the founder of Soul Journey. Now, I could tell you more, but I will let her because she can explain it so much better. So welcome, Michelle. It is so great to have you here today.
Thank
and
you.
I hope you're having I hope you're staying cool in our hot Edmonton weather.
Yes, I have air conditioning, so it's all good. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are excited to have you because you do some really interesting work. So actually, just tell us about what it is that you do, because you do quite a few things actually, and how does it benefit most of your clients, or all of your clients, really?
Well, yeah, hopefully it benefits all of them. So what I do is I work with women to help them discover who they are and create a life they love. Because as women, we give ourselves to everybody else, to our home, to housework, to being a parent, driving kids around, work, spouse, everything. And then we take no time for us. We feel like we should always be giving, and it's not okay to give to ourselves. And then we wake up one day and we're totally lost. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we want. We should be happy because according to society, we have a nice house, we have a nice car, we have a family. We take holidays, we do all those things, but something's missing here and it's super unfulfilling, but we don't know how to change it. So 5 years ago, my life was a total mess and I had to restart my life over again for the second time after being in a really unhappy, lonely marriage. And I became a super angry person. And when I was thinking of smothering my husband with a pillow, it was kind of my cue that I needed to change and probably leave. So I didn't do it, but it scared me. I have to clarify that. But it scared me enough to realize that I was this super loving, outgoing, fun person, and something happened inside. So I began to read, I took courses, I went to different events trying to figure out how to be happy. And luckily I had a friend who told me that once you change your thoughts, once you change how you speak, once you change what you believe is possible for your life, then your life can begin to change. And when I did that, my life changed in a huge way. And I went from thinking I'd never be happy again to having the most amazing job and the most amazing home and the most amazing love in my life that I never thought I'd be able to have. And because I changed me. And so changing me changed everything. And what I realized is other people don't know this is available. We don't know that we have the power to change our reality. We think life happens, it shows up to us, and we just have to go along for the ride. But that's not the case. So now I'm committed to sharing with other women how to do that and how to navigate that. And when you invest in yourself and you give yourself permission to take care of yourself, you're a better parent, you're a better spouse, you're a better worker, you're a better friend, you're a better daughter, you're a better person all around. So it's to your advantage to invest in yourself and to be good in here, and then it affects the rest of your life. So that's what I do. And I do that in a couple different ways. I do one-on-one coaching that I can do either in person or Zoom calls like what we're doing right now. I do workshops, I do events, and I do fun destination retreats.
Ooh, destination retreats.
I know. I can't believe I get to do that. That's like so exciting to me.
Well, and like you were saying, like when you started shifting some other things, like, wow, what a great thing to be able to do and to bring into your life.
Yeah, because I don't have to wait for anybody else to change. All the power's with me. So yeah. I get to do it. It's not dependent on anybody else. It's only dependent on me. And so that's what the power is, right?
Yeah. The one thing actually like that you talked about is, whether it was reading, taking courses, all the things that you looked at to help you change your life. Did you find like majority of the things you looked at worked for you, or did you kind of have to filter through some of it?
I really thought of that. You know what? I think most of it worked. I don't ever remember really learning anything that I went, that doesn't feel right to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess luckily I was just drawn to the things that were in alignment with me and what I believed and what I thought, or what I didn't even know maybe I believed at the time, but it was, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason and a purpose. And so the right things were put in my path one after the other to allow me to keep learning and growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is amazing how that happens. It's that whole, you know, when the student's ready, the teacher shows up.
That is the exact phrase I use in my workshops, because I was ready, and luckily I had someone that spoke into my life and told me that. Otherwise I wouldn't have known any different. And for me, being a mom, we are so focused on our children, and we are our children's mom. We're not our own person anymore. And so in a loving way, he said, if you don't get your own life and your own hobbies, you're going to be that crazy cat lady when your kids leave. And I went, ow, but I want to be the crazy cat lady, so I better find my own life. And I had to find out what makes me happy, what excites me, what energizes me. Yeah. And so the more I read, the more I studied, I realized that this is what excites me, this is what energizes me, and this is what I was meant to do. So I didn't know 5 years ago we had a purpose. Nobody told me. So luckily, all the chaos in my life directed me in the direction of figuring out what that was.
Right. Yeah. And you know, and that's super interesting. Like you know, you just said, you know, you didn't even realize we had a purpose, but it's the one thing I find, and you probably find as well, or you can comment on this, is all of the things, you know, that we've learned over the years. Did you find you had to unlearn them to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are taught, well, it's not even, we're not even taught them directly. We just assimilate all of these beliefs and thoughts, and we're not taught that we have the ability to change our thoughts, and that we don't have to go along with all that crazy stuff that goes on in your head, that you have the ability to override it and shift it and change it. But we're not taught to understand how our mind works and how our thoughts work, and how that all works together that creates our reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is super interesting, or at least I know I'm finding it super interesting in my own life.
Yes, so fascinating.
It's sometimes it's more like not adding on to, you know, what I know or what I think. It seems to be subtracting some of the old gets me further ahead than learning the new.
No, absolutely. So in my coaching, what we do is, in the beginning, it's all about clearing out all that's in the way. So all of these wounds and pains and hurts all get stacked up that you have to now clear away before you can then create what you want. So my analogy is like in the spring, when you go to your garden, you have to pull out all the dead stuff to have a space that now you can put the new stuff in. Right. If you pull it out, there's no room for it. So you have to pull out all the old beliefs and thoughts. You know, what I believe about life, is that really true? People believe life is hard, and relationships are hard, and money doesn't grow on trees. And there's all these negative thoughts that we walk around with that create our reality. And if we don't clean those out and replace them with new ones, our reality isn't going to shift.
Yeah. And so true. I know one of, my explanations too for a lot of things gets into a little bit of very surface level neurobiology.
Love that.
It is, you know, those ingrained patterns that create that energy, you know, within our brain, within our thoughts. And, you know, according to Abraham Hicks, and I believe this thoroughly, is, you know, a belief is just a thought we keep thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so when we have those neural pathways, we keep creating the same thing over and over and over again. So until we start changing, like you said, what we think, and even how we speak, words that we use, the energy behind what we say.
So my words I used to use was, I pick losers. And then I wondered why my relationship sucked. I didn't know. I didn't know that my words had power. So once I shifted that, it began to shift and change.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, if you say, my life sucks all the time, your brain doesn't know the difference between truth and not truth. It just goes looking for evidence to support that, to prove that you're right. So your
Right.
life sucks. Okay, I'm going to show you all the evidence to prove that's right. And if I continually beat up on myself and think that I'm worthless or I'm an idiot or I'm stupid, my subconscious goes looking for evidence to prove me right and brings back evidence to go, yeah, look it, you're right. You are stupid. You are an idiot. So when you shift that to say, I'm amazing and I'm
Yeah.
awesome and I believe that and I love my life, then all of these things come back to prove you're right. So then you can see the beauty, you can see the things that are going for you instead of just focusing on what's not working for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that can be really challenging sometimes.
Sometimes you just have to go, you know what, I'm breathing today. I'm breathing today. I've got that right. I'm doing a really good job at it. I'm walking. I haven't fallen down. So today, those are my wins.
Yeah.
Right? There's always something to find if you look to be grateful for that you're doing right.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, those days, I guess it can be so challenging to even find something just to appreciate and see the good in the fact of, what, yeah, we're alive. It's part of our experience.
How many people are laying in the hospital who can't breathe or who can't walk or who are fighting for their life?
Yeah.
And then you can put it in perspective to that, then you know what, I guess I'm pretty lucky. It could be so much worse. But if I don't choose to see the contrast of, yeah, it could be that. So I'm grateful that this is all I'm dealing with right now because I could be dealing with so much more. So I'm just going to say thank you. In the moment, thank you. Thank you that I'm alive. Thank you that I am where I am. I'm safe. I have food. I have shelter. I have people that love me. So to just find the small wins when you can't seem to find anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I know I've had a few of those days where it's like, oh.
And what I've learned in those days, because we all have those days, and I remember just having this I was just done. I'm like, hey, this is enough. I'm tapped out. I've had enough. And I heard Byron Katie's voice in my head, and she said, well, how do you want to feel? I'm like, well, I want to feel peaceful. Okay, so why don't you just choose to feel peaceful? Because you can, if you want to. Why don't you just choose that? I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to choose to feel peaceful. And this crazy amount of peace came over me in the worst moment that I was having because I had the choice. I have the power to decide whether I want to stay feeling shitty or do I want to shift and try to find things that I can find peace. Joy in. So it's all about shifting your focus, shifting what you believe, which then shifts your reality.
Yeah. And it's interesting actually, as you're talking about this, because I know I've had moments of this where, you feel like absolute crap. And, even though I know that process, I have the choice. I can shift my thinking, whatever. And all of a sudden I notice, you know what? I don't want to shift out of this feeling. Like for some reason, it's just like, you know what? Yeah, I just want to feel crappy.
And you know what? That's the human experience. So we have to allow ourselves that it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay there and stay stuck there. But I think being able to love yourself in whatever space you're in. So when I'm happy, can I love myself because I'm happy? And when I'm struggling and I'm sad, can I love myself in the place of being sad?
Yeah. And, and that is so important, is just allowing ourselves to be. It's all part of the experience of being here on earth.
Yeah. And we can't be 100% happy all the time. It's like if it was hot and sunny all day, every day, we need the contrast, right? We need the cold of the winter to appreciate the summer. And then some people appreciate the hot of the summer to appreciate the cold of the winter, right? Day and night. If it was bright and sunny out all the time, we would miss the things we can do at night. It's everything's in contrast. Everything's in balance. How both are okay. It's just not all one, not all the other.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. And yeah, it is so important. And that's one thing is, you think about not so much now, but a lot of the older self-help, not all of it. I'm not stereotyping the whole self-help industry, but there is quite a bit that it's always about being happy. Oh, be happy, be happy, be happy. And you're exactly what you're saying is, without the contrast, what would being happy really mean? It would just be a constant state that we wouldn't even need a word for.
No, exactly. And, I struggled with that for quite a while, thinking, okay, I know better. I know I should be grateful. I know I should be happy. I know I should. So when in the moments that I wasn't there, I was really hard on myself.
Right.
That I wasn't shifting it quicker. I wasn't doing it better. And so, learning from other teachers to just love yourself wherever you are. And it's a journey. And that's, part of the reason I called my company Soul Journey, because it's your soul's journey. It's not just arriving at a destination of when I'm here, then I'll be happy. It's how do I navigate the journey of my life? What is it that I'm meant to learn? How am I supposed to grow? And then how do I love myself through the process of all of that? Because self-love is the foundation of everything, right? When we can love and accept ourselves, then it's the foundation of building our home. If we built our home on no foundation, it would fall apart. So to me, I totally believe that self-love and self-worthiness and self-acceptance is the foundation we need to build our whole life on.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's allowing ourselves to be human.
Yeah.
We're not meant to have, what I'm trying to say is, kind of exactly what you said is we need the contrast to have the human experience.
And just because I don't get it right in the moment, it doesn't mean I'm a bad mom because I had a moment where maybe I yelled at my kids or I was frustrated. To say, you know what, I am a good mom, but I have moments where I'm human and I don't always get it right, and that's okay. And I can go to my kids and say sorry, and they can see that I'm human, they're human. And if we expect people to be perfect all the time, we're always going to be disappointed. We have to accept people's humanness, that, there are moments where they're awesome and amazing. And then there's moments where they're struggling, and that's okay too.
Yeah. And speaking of expectations, is I find we are very hard on ourselves. We have such high expectations of how we should continuously be.
Yeah.
Like, I notice it in myself quite often. It's that, we're our own worst critic.
Oh, for sure. We would never talk to somebody the way we talk to ourselves. And if we heard someone saying that to someone else, we would be like, what are you doing? Stop that. That's horrible. Don't do that. Don't say that.
Yeah. How did we learn to be like that?
I don't know. I think it's just, and I think some people grew up hearing stuff like that, but then I think there's people that didn't grow up hearing stuff like that and still are super hard on themselves inside. And the women that I work with are really outwardly confident, strong, beautiful women, yet inside their internal dialogue of what they think and believe about themselves is so universal that they are all their own worst critics.
Yeah.
And so society has taught us, don't be conceited, don't be arrogant, don't think you're so great. Like, who are you to think that you're great? Why can't we all just grow up and think we're great and amazing human beings? Do you imagine the planet if we all came from the space of, I think I'm awesome and amazing and I have a lot to offer the world? It'd be a totally different place.
That it would be, very much so. And speaking of the world being a different place, just the shift in human consciousness that's going on.
I know. I'm so grateful that, there's so many more people aware and open to learning more and wanting to be more, and just waking up feeling like there's something missing. I know there's something missing. I don't know what it is, but I want to figure that out.
Yeah, it just amazes me, actually, because especially when it hits things like TV, social media, and all of a sudden you're seeing so much more that's related to, whether, because there's the one show with Charlie Goldsmith, the Reiki healer guy. I forget what it's called.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Awesome show. It just
Oh.
follows him around doing energy healing.
Hmm.
And it is just amazing. And he has got such a following now. And I can't wait till the next season's on. But it is incredible to see the number of people that are now even seeing that on mainstream TV.
Yeah, for sure. And there's
And
scientific proof that's coming out
yeah,
too to back all of this up, that your thoughts and your beliefs actually change your genetics, your DNA, your everything. Like, it has so much power
yeah.
to and change with all the cells in your body. That's pretty powerful. You can't dispute that that's not real.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, we have known, like, I mean, if you want to call science, is known for years, being in the Western modern world, even though ancient cultures have known this for thousands of years.
We're a little slow to the game, but we're showing up.
We're getting there, even though we call it, our modern science that, is so far ahead of everybody else. And it's like, well,
Really?
not really sure about that. But yeah, the proof that's coming out, but that we've also known, like I said, for so long, but because we've created a society that can't deal with it, like socially, economically, it has to be such a slow transition that, yeah, patience is definitely required. But wow, people are changing like crazy. And
Yeah.
the younger generations, it's just, it's amazing to see how quickly it is actually changing.
Yes. And so part of my wanting to do what I want to do is teaching moms and women to show up differently so that they can teach their children how to show up differently. And these kids don't have to wait till they're in their 40s and they start questioning, who am I? What am I meant to do in the world? What's missing? Is that to begin to shift not only our generation, but the ripple effect of how that affects other people, and teaching our children differently, right? If I'd have known what I know now, I would have parented and taught my children differently.
So,
right? So they felt more empowered, and that they knew their thoughts and their beliefs create their reality, and that they have the power in which to do that. So I'm teaching them now. They're teenagers. It's a little hard to get through to them, but I know they're listening.
so do you notice a difference, like, since you shifted, do you notice a difference with your kids?
Yeah, I have. And, I'm mom, so moms don't really know much when you're a teenage girl. But what I do know is that if I'm having a challenging day, the advice that they give me would be the exact advice I would give anybody else. So they are listening. They are paying attention. They do know. They may not admit it, and I probably would never have admitted my mom was right ever at that age too. But it does have an impact on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so incredibly interesting. And, okay, so just speaking of the shift and everything else, how do you fit energy into your life and, your business? Like, just using that universal energy. We've talked a bit about it, but are there other specific ways that you kind of implement that?
Well, yeah, I try to wake up in the morning and do a meditation where I just get centered and grounded and focus on, what's important, what do I want to create, and then what energy am I going to bring to that in order to create that. So if I want to be creating these amazing results and impacting people, but I wake up and I'm grumpy and crabby and ungrateful, my energy doesn't really match the intention of what I want to create. So I try to be mindful of what I'm bringing, that I'm in a good space, and that I am centered and focused on the energy that I bring. And then when I work with clients, usually before a workshop or before I coach, I sit for a couple minutes and I meditate, and I just try to connect into their energy, so that when I'm working with them and they are, struggling or feeling stuck or they can't see things, I'm able to feel what they're feeling and being able to guide them in different ways to say, why don't you consider this? Because I can kind of feel where they're going with it, or I can feel where they're resisting and getting stuck. So it's like energetic intuition that helps me connect with them and what they're going through.
Ah, interesting. And actually, it's interesting you bring up workshops because you have well, like you said, you have destination retreats and workshops. Do you have anything that's, I know summer's kind of an odd time, but do you have anything that's coming up in the future here?
Yeah, we have a couple cool things that we have planned. So there is going to be a self-love retreat in the mountains. And so I think today we're meeting with the cabin out in the mountains that we're going to be booking. So we're going to probably book that in September. So we're going to go outside and do hiking and connect with the energy of nature and the energy of friendship and bring all that together to help women again rediscover who they are. What is your purpose? What is your passion? What excites you, so that they can go home with tools and strategies to implement in their life to begin to create something that is fulfilling and they love. One of the other things, talking about energy, is we're going to Sedona in September, and Sedona is like one of the energy vortexes of the world, and people go there for the healing properties. So we're going there for September for the full moon and the equinox. And then I'm just in the middle of planning all my retreats and workshops and events for the fall. So there'll be some online programs, there'll be some in-person programs. I do an evening workshop called the 5 Magic Questions, and it's super powerful because you bring to the event something that's not working, and then we look at the subconscious blocks and needs that it's meeting, why you continue to repeat the behavior that you don't want to. So when we discover what that is, we can clear it and then create what you want. So people have huge mind-blowing realizations of why they're getting stuck and how do we clear that and then create what they want. So that's something that'll for sure be coming up in the fall.
Wow, so you got lots on the go.
Lots on the go. Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait. I wish I had time to create more. So it'll be all posted on the website shortly once it's all scheduled, and it'll also be on my Facebook page, Soul Journey Transformations. So I post all the events on there as well on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, I'm going to have to check some of these out here, I think.
Yeah, they're super fun. They're, I love bringing people together. I love bringing women together to understand that they're not alone. They're not the only one feeling what they're feeling. And the power of having a tribe and having people in your world that are like-minded, that are going through the same things as you, gives you that sense of community, and having community helps you heal quicker. It helps you live longer. There's so many proven benefits to having that soul tribe, is what we call our group, is to help you on your journey so that you don't feel like you're doing it alone.
Yeah. And that is so important. It's incredible when you get together in a group, especially in those types of settings. And especially when you start, looking a little bit deeper and, allowing yourself to be even just a little bit vulnerable, is how intensive relationships and results you can get from things like that.
For sure. And just the energy of coming together in the group and then feeling the shift in energy afterwards, the shift from heaviness to, you can feel the lightness, the freedom, oh my God, I just let that go. And that feels so great.
Yeah,
We around a lot of heavy stuff with us all day, every day. And when you get to put that down, the energy that it creates by doing that is pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's amazing. So actually, just one quick question. What are some of the things you're doing in Sedona?
Oh, Sedona, so excited. Sedona is one of my favorite places in the world. So we are going to do some hiking and some healing. So Sedona is, for people that don't know, is Red Rock Mountain vortexes. And a vortex is a center of energy that's very, very strong. So people have had great breakthroughs, huge healings just from the power and the energy in Sedona. So we're going to be hiking multiple vortexes. We are going to be working with a shaman and do a medicine wheel ceremony and kind of understand how people of the land, what they did, the ceremonies they had, the beliefs that they carried, and how they transformed. So my understanding of a medicine wheel is kind of the journey from birth to discovering your purpose. So it's all about the journey of life and the different stages that you go through. And when somebody explained it to me, I almost cried because it was so perfectly aligned with my company and soul journey and the fact of, you know, how do you get to where you want to go? So I think it's going to be a really cool ceremony and just to see different cultures and how they believe and what they do. So yeah, we rented a beautiful house. We're all staying together in this awesome house, and we're going to go hiking every day and sightseeing. And then we are going to helicopter into the Grand Canyon to see Havasu Falls, which is a turquoise waterfall in the middle of the Grand Canyon. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
I know, right? Bucket list for sure.
Yeah, that just sounds absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Michelle, actually, unfortunately, we're just kind of out of time here, but you are doing some amazing work and certainly impacting an awful lot of women. It is amazing to hear the things that you're doing and the things that you're offering. So I, for one, I'm glad that, you know, you didn't smother your husband with a pillow and moved on past that.
Yes. I, for one, am grateful, and I'm sure he's probably grateful too. My kids, the first time they heard that, they were like, oh, Mom, I'm like, sorry, it's just true. It's real.
It was just a thought.
I didn't do it. I should get credit for I didn't do it. One lady's like, are we not supposed to think that? She's like, I didn't know that.
No. Oh, but I honestly, I can't wait to meet up with you again and get more of a chance to talk about all the cool things that you do. And yeah, your retreats and workshops just sound amazing.
Thank you for letting me share. And I didn't mention my website. So my website is souljourney.co. So it's different, but it's there. And so go check it out. There's lots of great information on there. And if you want to join us on Facebook, I share a lot of tips and information on there. And then our Soul Tribe is a closed Facebook group. So you feel safe to share. We support one another. You can ask questions. I share, you know, books that I'm reading, things that I'm doing to kind of help you on your journey.
And on Facebook, they can find you just under Soul Journey?
Transformations is
Soul Journey Transformations.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. And yeah, just for anybody that, if you're actually just listening to this as a actual podcast, hopefully you caught that. If you're watching the video, I will post Michelle's website and Facebook information and any other contact information for her as well. So you can find out more about Michelle through her website, or you can contact her and just see what's shaking in Michelle world.
Lynn, this has been awesome. Thanks for having me.
Well, honestly, yeah, like I said, I'm so glad actually that, you know, you could take the time to be here with us, and I'm happy to share the amazing things that you do, just because hopefully some of the people that are listening, I could almost guarantee some of them are relating to you so closely for, you know, the amazing things that you said, for what you've been through what you're doing now, and through your understanding of who we are. It's very easy for people to relate to, because majority of us are going through the same thing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all the same. We just want to be loved and accepted.
Exactly. It's funny, but we always think accepted is from outside ourselves, as opposed to being accepted by ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't have said that better. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I just make shit up, and hey, it's good.
Surprise yourself some days. You're like, wow, I actually did that.
Well, that does it. I'm done for the day.
Had my one brilliant moment. I'm good to go now. Bye.
Well, exactly. Just one a day. Otherwise, I would overwhelm the world and myself.
That's what I said. I can't. You know, the rest of the world might feel a little not quite right if I had it right all the time. So it's okay to not get it right sometimes.
Good point. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to come across as, you know, just way too much.
And it's great to own that too. You get to own it all. Sometimes I'm totally on top of it, and some days I'm just not, and I am okay wherever that is.
Exactly. And for all our listeners, actually, everybody, yeah, understand that no matter where you are okay and you're perfect
Right.
where you are, and allow yourself to just be there. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter where you are.
We are human beings, not human doings. So honor your being.
Yes. So for today, everybody's challenge is to just go and be. You don't have to do, just be. I mean, if you're at work, it's a little challenging, but hey, give it a try.
If your boss comes in, just say, you know what, I'm just being right now. Sorry, not allowed to be.
Yes. I'll be with you in a moment as soon as I'm done being.
And let us know how that goes.
Suddenly I'll be getting a lot of emails.
I know. We're not responsible for any lost position. Sorry.
Exactly. Well, thanks again so much, Michelle. And like I said, actually, I can't wait to get, catch up with you. And hopefully maybe in the fall, we can catch up again and hear more about the amazing things that you have coming up. And anybody that is looking for a coach for one-on-one or looking for some retreats and workshops, whether they're online or in person, yeah, Michelle is a great contact. So please check out her website and find out more. And she has so much to offer so many people. So let's get her out there and share this podcast and share Michelle's information, because yeah, you know what? We all need the support, and finding the perfect person for you is what this podcast is all about. So until next week, and we will have another amazing guest. You guys all go and have a great week, and yeah, keep being. Just keep being. Thanks, Michelle.
Hi, everybody.
Bye-bye.